Hello, and welcome to Wiltshire Library's Poetry Tea and Chat podcast with me, Peter, from Wiltshire Libraries. Thank you very much for joining me today. This edition is going out live in December 2022, so we've chosen a winter and festival theme. I hope you'll take a few moments to enjoy the poems I've chosen and some book chat with a cup of tea or a beverage of your choice. Got mine here. I've also got a mince pie as well to enjoy afterwards. My colleague Jessica was going to be presenting this episode, but unfortunately has a sore throat, not conducive to reading poetry, so I've stepped in at the last minute. However, anyone who knows Jess will know she's the queen of jokes featuring cheese. Please stick with me. So here, in tribute to Jess, who couldn't be here today, is a festive cheese joke. How does good King Wenceslas like his pizzas? Deep, pan, crisp and even. Yes, anyway, let's get on with some poems. First one I'm going to do is Frost at Midnight by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. The frost performs its secret ministry, unhelped by any wind. The owlet's cry came loud, and hark again, loud as before. The inmates of my cottage, all at rest, have left me to that solitude which suits obtrusive musings, save that at my side my cradled infant slumbers peacefully. 'Tis calm indeed, so calm that it disturbs and vexes meditation with its strange and extreme stillness. Sea, hill and wood, this populous village, sea and hill and wood, with all the numberless goings on of life, inaudible as dreams. The thin blue flame lies on my low burnt fire, and quivers not. Only that film which fluttered on the grate still flutters there, the sole unquiet thing. That was Frost at Midnight by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. I often wonder whether or not that poem partly inspired Dylan Thomas with Undermilt Wood, particularly that image of the sea, hill and wood, this populous village, sea and hill and wood, with all the numberless goings on of life, inaudible as dreams. Just really resonated with me. So, I'd like to do a programme recommendation now. I just happened to catch another one of BBC Four's Winter Walks the other day, which was new to me. It's available to watch on iPlayer if you want to watch it, or you may catch it repeated on BBC Four. It was the one with the presenter Adrian Chiles walking Scarborough's coast, where he visits the church where Anne Bronte is buried. So I thought that was a really good programme. It's often got a literary or poetic connection to it. So if you haven't already, or you want to revisit at this time of year, it's perfect. Short programme with a sort of real meditative quality to it that really connects with me in terms of getting out into nature and the benefit that this can have for your mind, but also how it often makes your mind turn towards perhaps poetry and descriptions of nature. So I've just got a few poems for you today with a sort of wintry theme, but also one with a Christmassy theme to end on. So the next one I'm going to do is Sheep in Winter by John Clare. Those of you that watched the poetry podcast I did back in November will remember that I did Wordsworth, an extract from the Preludes about Shepherd in the Mist. I seem to have stumbled on a bit of a vein of sort of like nature writing and poems about sheep in extreme weather. I didn't realise that this was a genre in poetry, but here's another one, as I say, Sheep in Winter by John Clare. The sheep get up and make their many tracks, and bear a load of snow upon their backs, and gnaw the frozen turnip to the ground with sharp, quick bite, and then go noising round, the boy that pecks the turnips all the day, and knocks his hands to keep the cold away, and laps his legs in straw to keep them warm, and hides behind the hedges from the storm. The sheep as tame as dogs go where he goes, and try to shake their fleeces from the snows, then leave their frozen meal and wander round the stubble stack that stands beside the ground, and lie all night and face the drizzling storm, and shun the hovel where they might be warm. So there you go, that's Sheep in Winter by John Clare. Another Victorian poet writing about sheep in winter. I really like the image of the sheep trying to stay warm in the snow, but when the shepherd's boy goes into the warm hut, they're left outside but face the cold weather stoically. So if you've been enjoying the latest series of Between the Covers, this is another programme recommendation but also a book recommendation. That's BBC Two's book review programme with Sarah Cox, if you're not familiar with it. If any of the book recommendations have caught your eye and they're not on your Christmas list, then please do treat yourself and reserve them through a Wiltshire library, particularly any of the sort of book recommendations that come in that are from previous Booker Prize winners, and the Bring Your Own recommendations that some of the talking heads and the people that come on and talk about the programme and books on the programme recommend. I was watching one the other day, and the actress Pam Ferris was, from the Darling Buds of May, was recommending this book, All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. And this is a book that I've read and is absolutely fantastic, so I'd like to recommend it to you now. It is a book set mainly during the Second World War about a blind French girl whose father may or may not have hidden an incredibly valuable diamond somewhere in the town of St Malo, which features on the front cover there. You probably can't see, and also a young German boy who gets caught up in the war, who is obsessed with radios. And it's all about how the blind French girl experiences the world around her by touch and hearing, but without sight. Hence the title, All the Light We Cannot See. And also how she her story intertwines with this German boy who is a radio enthusiast that gets caught up in the German army. So that's All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, and I thoroughly recommend that. But also there's all sorts of great books recommended on Between the Covers. I really find it's an inspirational programme for finding my next read. And if you are watching this live today on Tuesday the 20th of December, there is an episode on tonight at 7 o'clock. So I heartily recommend that to you. Right, let's have another poem. What are we going to have next? We're going to have an oldie but a goodie, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. Those of you who heard Basil's podcast last month, he did The Road Not Taken, and this is the other classic Robert Frost poem from this time of the year, which I'm going to do for you now. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sound's the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. That's Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Robert Frost. I thought I'd keep it nice and brief today on our poetry podcast. We do have tea and a chat aspect to this as well, and so hence I did want to just mention the couple of book and program reviews that I've mentioned. But also, I just wanted to say before we finished that we are in our libraries at the moment very aware of the fact that there is a cost of living crisis, and many people are struggling to keep warm during the cold weather in the winter. And I just wanted to reiterate that libraries, all of our libraries in Wiltshire, are warm and we hope welcoming and safe places that we would love you to come and spend time in. So just a reminder that if you're looking for somewhere to come and spend some time in the warm, and maybe have a look at what we've got on our shelves and see if you can find something good to read to bide you through these winter months, please do come into any of our Wiltshire libraries during opening times. So last of all, I'm going to do a Christmas poem. And the Christmas poem that I am going to do, I don't know the poet who wrote this. It's an anonymous one. It's called Christmas Night. It's a very short one to end on. Softly, softly, through the darkness, snow is falling. Sharply, sharply, in the meadows, lambs are calling. Coldly, coldly, all around me, winds are blowing. Brightly, brightly, up above me, stars are glowing. So that was Christmas Night by Anonymous. First line, softly, softly through the darkness, snow is falling. So I hope you enjoyed that one. And I hope that you have a lovely Christmas and a new year. And we will see you with the Poetry Tea and Chat podcast and in Wiltshire Libraries throughout the winter. But also look forward to joining you on the next episode next January. So look out for that. Thank you very much. I am going to enjoy my cup of tea now and my mince pie.